Hey, Scorpio, Intuitive Soul Coach here with your December 2024 monthly reading. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Scorpio, I'm already getting a key theme here for you in the month of December. Now you have detox out here, belief system, and heart's desire. But bottom of the deck, you have the second chance card. There is an emergence happening for you at this time. There is a clearing of the way. You could be getting rid of the old to make way for new, and what better time than the last month of the year? You're really looking at your values, your core values, your morals, your beliefs, and I feel like you are making healthy choices around your future, okay, around relationships, possibly around your health, and around your heart as well. Heart's desire is the third key theme showing up for you in the month of December, because there's been a challenge. There's been a shift here between you and someone maybe in the family. Now, of course, December can be a month where we get together with family, but I feel like there's a change in the wind. I feel like there's something that may have occurred in the past that looks different this time around. And you have the second chance here to do something differently this time. Okay, you have the wisdom behind you with the education card. It's like you have experience now. You have knowledge. You know better. And as I always say, when you know better, you do better. This may have to do with children. Okay, you have the inner child. This could also be about a battle of the egos, because I do see the Five of Swords showing up here in your reading. So some of you, it just feels like you were dealing with someone who was reacting from a place of trauma or reacting from a place of feeling wounded. And that is being looked at under the microscope. I feel like that is looked at intently this month. Now, bottom of the deck, you do have the Nine of Swords. So something that may have caused a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, I just feel like it's being scrutinized. And when we fully look at what is in front of us, we fully look at it, get to the root, get to the nitty gritty, I feel like only then can we dissect it and create a different outcome. And that's what I see you doing, really going deep within your belief system. Now, not only do you have that card showing up as a key theme, Scorpio, you have the Hierophant in your reading, and that is about our beliefs. So you could be shedding some of those limitations this month. You could be responding or reacting in different ways than you have in the past. And it almost feels to me with the Five of Swords in reverse that you're not putting up with someone's drama. You're not putting up with someone's chaos. Or perhaps there has been an ending. You have the Coffin card here. There's a family dynamic. I see within a family situation that someone has been ostracized. Maybe someone has lied. Someone has stolen. Someone has cheated another person out of finances, or cheated someone out of an experience. Things are different this time around. You know better. Ace of Swords is showing up in your reading as well, saying there's going to be some sort of truth. Okay, and I think I saw, yeah, the Seven of Swords. So if there was something hidden from you, or if there was a situation that felt like it had betrayed you, I just see that there's going to be a shift in dynamic. It does feel like a change in the wind, and this could show up out of the blue for you as well. Last card here, let's get the archetype. Yeah, we have the orphan. So I do feel like there's been a situation, Scorpio, that has occurred in your life that has really left you feeling orphaned or alienated, rejected or abandoned. And I see that you've been really working on the healing, but this is the month where you get down to the nitty gritty. You get down to that core piece of what you've been digging and digging and digging into for quite some time. And now you've hit a very vital part of information that is going to help you move forward on your journey. Okay. This is the detox card. For some of you, this has to do with health. Okay. For some of you, it feels like your body has betrayed you, or it feels like you weren't listening to the source of your pain, right? Our body is constantly telling us, speaking to us, informing us, and letting us know what's going on. Even if we try to ignore it, right? Even if we want to sweep it under the rug, the body is going to show us through pain, right? And I feel like there's something you cannot ignore, and you are resolving it, or you're finding some sort of conflict resolution because you don't want to take it with you moving into the new year. So you're really looking at your goals, your inspirations, your aspirations even, and you're saying, what do I need to eliminate from my diet? What do I need to eliminate from my life? What beliefs need to be eradicated because they're holding me back? So you're really taking deep inventory of what's working in your life, Scorpio, and what's not, because this is having a healthy body and mind. And that mental piece is really showing up strong. And that's difficult, especially as a water sign. You may have big emotions, right? But you go deep. You are very in depth. And it can be difficult to find that balance at times between the head and the heart. But I see that you are doing a wonderful job. You've come a long way. And Scorpio, this is about release. It is about cleanse. There's a clean palette, so to speak. And this also was in Libra's reading as well. So some of you could be dealing with a Libra. Maybe you're on that Libran cusp, or you have those placements in your chart. But I do feel like you're withdrawing, right? Withdrawing from drama. Perhaps there is an event this year that you're not going to. Perhaps you're saying, not my monkeys, not my circus. I just feel like there is a level of boundaries. There's a level of simplicity this time around that you are honoring. And even if you do go to some sort of event or gathering or holiday party, I just feel like you're not putting up with BS. If someone is trying to talk superficial, or if they're trying to gossip, I see you turning the other way, Scorpio. It feels like you don't want a part of it because you've been on empathy overload lately. And I just feel like you're done. You're drawing a line in the sand, and it's like you're holding up a hand saying, not my monkeys, not my circus. Sorry, not sorry is the energy I'm getting for you. Now you have belief system. This is about our self-talk, and we don't often realize subconsciously the way that we talk to others, the way we talk to ourselves. This can be the stories that we tell ourselves. It can be the programming that is deeply rooted within our subconscious. Therefore, we're not consciously aware when we react or respond in certain ways. Well, remember what I said about you digging and digging and getting to the nitty gritty? That's what you're doing at this time. And I feel like you're trusting in a higher power. God, goddess, universe, spirit, whatever you want to call source energy. I interchange the words sometimes. So it is love, right? It is light. And I feel like you are connecting to your ancestors. You're connecting to a higher energy source, meaning you're stepping outside of the ego, or you're moving through that ego. And I feel like you're connecting on a deeper spiritual level. And you're taking a look at some of the beliefs that you have instilled into your body, right? And something here you are shedding. Something you are shedding. And why? Because now you are an observer. You're able to be that fly on a wall, so to speak, and you're able to take a look at the situation and the surroundings that are encompassing you, and you're able to react from more of a neutral perspective instead of feeling like you're caught up in the midst of some sort of drama. Now, you have heart's desire as your third key theme here. This is passion projects. It could be making decisions from the heart. For some of you, this is the heart health. You may have suffered from anxiety, depression, heart palpitations, heart murmurs, strokes, pneumonia. This can also be heart arrhythmia, breast cancer, anything that it sits in that heart chakra area. It can even be forgiveness. It can be receiving love. It can be giving love. I feel like you're really addressing some of the deeper feelings that show up around the heart. And I do see here that there's something coming in that is going to bring you a lot of happiness, and you're working each and every day towards finding that happiness within, okay? Because this isn't something external. So when I say finding, it's not like you're on this seek externally to go out there and say, hey, I found it. But it is an inner seeking that you are on this path, on this journey to remove the conditionings that have delayed your gratification or delayed your happiness. So it feels like it is a bit of a journey that you've gone through, Scorpio, and a lot of you have had to work through some childhood wounds, right? And I feel like you've done massive healing around maybe a parent or child dynamic or some conditionings that were set up during your childhood, which a lot of our conditionings are, right? Based on what we see, based on who we are around, who cares for us, who teaches us, society and family, and whomever is in our lives and whatever is influencing over our lives as a child. And I see here that you've worked on this piece, and there could even be a childhood dream that is manifesting here for you, because I see the inner child and I also see the 10 of Cups. So the 10 of Cups is a beautiful card. It's the ultimate blessing. It is happiness, right? It is community and family and soul tribe. It's a feeling of being together. It can be the card of marriage. It can be the card of having good, strong, solid connections, people who love you and support you. And this may be what that childhood dream is, especially if you've been orphaned. Some of you could even be adopted. You could have adopted a child as well. For others of you, I feel like you've taken in individuals under your wing, okay? Maybe children who were not blood, maybe people who needed you or need you the most. It's like you've taken people under your wing, and I feel like you're shedding an old skin of not feeling enough to evolving into, this is my mission, this is my purpose. So this is quite intense energy. Now, right behind the inner child, right, you do have that second chance, or was that came up first? You have second chance showing up, but it's tied to the inner child. So it feels like there's a second chance for you to, again, fulfill dreams and really align with your truth, for you to spread your wings and bring laughter, innocence, happiness, joy, and magic back into your world. So often we reserve those happy emotions for children, right? But why not feel excited as an adult? Why not embrace in things that bring you happiness, right? Why not laugh and laugh and laugh until your side hurts, right? And laughter is the same in all languages. That's important. Laughter is the same in all languages. And I feel like there's symbolism here around laughter this month for you. Like, it's okay to laugh. It's okay to enjoy yourself and maybe even indulge a little bit with the energies of Sag. But I feel like you are coming up against this review. And even though I don't see, I guess I haven't looked too closely, but I don't see the Judgment card, I feel like you've released self-judgment, self-criticism the best that you can. You're still working through it. But I feel like life is offering you up this opportunity to find that peace and happiness within again. And then that way, the lens in which you view the world is going to change. All right, let's look at the tarot. Starting off, we have the Ten of Cups. Now, it didn't immediately show up in the upright position, meaning some of you, you're reflecting on relationships, what, or work even, that brings you joy. Some of you were dealing with drama. Some of you are dealing with drama in the workplace. It was supposed to be like a family setting, but it feels like it's been very singular. For others of you, if this is a family dynamic, I feel like you've really been reflecting and there's been lack of emotional fulfillment. You've been disconnected, maybe even from your loved ones, or disconnected from your purpose. That is what is being recovered or renewed. All the REs, as I always say, when retrograde comes in, which retrograde is here till mid-month, it's a really good time to whip out those REs. Reflection, reevaluation, right? Reorganizing, rethinking, reconsidering. So really, digging into that deep space, which we talk about you doing, but then allowing yourself to fly free, getting to the root, getting to the nitty gritty, so you're able to make some life altering choices and changes. And perhaps that's why I keep seeing that Judgment card here for you. So we might see that in your New Year's reading or your January reading, because I feel like there's going to be a big life-changing call for you. Excuse me. Next up, Five of Swords in reverse. Yeah, not my monkeys, not my circus. You've dealt with a battle. Five of Swords is one of my least favorite energies to be in. However, we all get wrapped up in the Five of Swords at some point or another in our lives. Now, this is the card of maybe someone taking advantage. Someone has their claws out, their teeth out, right? They're ready to go to war. This is bullying, manipulation, deceit, anger, rage, poor sportsmanship. It is a battle of the egos, and it's a battle that is not fun. And because I see you stepping outside of the ego, Scorpio, I feel like you're choosing, there's the choice, you're choosing what you are going to fight for and what is not worth it, right? If you're going to continue repeating a cycle with someone and it's like you're banging your head up against the wall, you're like, why am I torturing myself? Why am I continuing to play this same scenario out when I know that the outcome is going to be the same? So for some of you, you have chose to maybe walk away, even if it feels like there's been a loss. Okay, I feel there's never really truly a win when it comes to this Five of Swords, even though people have read it as a win at all costs. To me, because I believe in karma, I believe that there are consequences for our actions. This is going to come back and bite someone. So even if it feels like a win in the moment, it's not truly a win. Right? I feel like there's a lesson. Absolutely. There's a lesson, and maybe that lesson is a win. But I see that someone had their claws out and their teeth out, and it just was messy. It was ugly. It wasn't fun. Now, smack dab in the middle of the reading is the Witch. Now, this is a bonus major arcana that the author and creator of this deck has, right? And the Witch is card 25, and she is represented by Dorothy Gale. Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. Dorothy is magic, right? She's magical. She's transformative. She is someone who's very caring and loving, but she's protected, right? You see that bubble of protection around her, and she has that level of protection, and she finds her people, her soul tribe along the way. She always has her handy dandy trusty Toto, right? She has that innate ability to trust in her higher self. So that could be represented here as Toto. But I feel like you're finding your people along the way. And you could also be finding those aspects of yourself, because in a way, the lion, the courage and the heart and the brain, it is all parts of her own psyche. And even though you already have access to all of those things, we utilize them in different ways. So there's something here for you, Scorpio, about believing in your abilities, staying true to yourself, staying true to your purpose, right? Toto would never leave her, ever. Toto is always going to be there for her, no matter what. And that is the bond that you have with your higher self. It's never going to leave you, even if sometimes it feels like it's disconnected physically. You know, energetically, it's always there. And I feel like the witch is also reminding you to not seek validation from others, okay? Or not doubt yourself, not to doubt your skills and your abilities. Because what does she head off towards? She heads off on that yellow brick road, and her ultimate destination is the Wizard of Oz, or the Emerald City, which is finding that place within oneself, finding that uniqueness, tapping the ruby slippers and saying, there's no place like home. So there's something here about you coming back home to yourself. There's something here about you utilizing the resources that you have, the courage and the brains and the heart. Those are resources that we were gifted here, right, on this earthly plane to help us navigate through the yellow brick road and to trust that you are protected here. But you have some magical powers. Yes, you do, Scorpio. Now, there is something here about stepping out of denial with the Seven of Swords. Some of you have been betrayed. For others of you, you've been ostracized. You've been invalidated. It feels like you have these skills and these talents, but someone isn't recognizing them. And then what do? You may base your self-worth based on what someone else thinks of you. And if you are dealing with a Five of Swords, Seven of Swords, no matter what, you could be LeBron James, right? You could be the next Gandhi, whomever, right? No matter what you were, it would not impress or it would not change this person's Five or Seven of Swords mentality, because that is who they are. And I feel like if you are trying to impress, or if you are trying to get some sort of validation out of this energy, it's going to feel like a lose-lose, because it's not about how they see you. And if they can't appreciate you and they can't honor you for who you are, then it's time to move on. And I feel like that is part of the denial that you may have been living in. You thought, well, if this changes, or this is the potential, or perhaps they'll see things from a new light, or perhaps I'll get better at this, or maybe they'll see that I really do deserve that raise, even though they've been telling me for 2 years, right? There's something here that you've been in denial about. And this Five and Seven of Swords is a cold, hard splash to the face, right? Cold water splashed on the face. It's a wake-up call. And so what I see here is you really reevaluating your morals and your beliefs, because you're not going to compromise your integrity to fit in. And maybe that's what you've done in the past. You've compromised yourself. You've made yourself small. You've built your self-confidence based on, how good you are, or your perfectionisms, or what this person thinks, or what accolades you've accumulated. But I feel like there's a shift coming in here, and you're saying, wait a second, none of that. I mean, that stuff is great, but none of that is what fully fulfills me. What truly fulfills me is the people, is the people that I help and that serve me and I serve them, and there's reciprocity and there's love and there's an exchange. That's what that Ten of Cups is all about. So you are reevaluating your commitments. You're reevaluating your morals, and where you need to maybe make changes in your life when it comes to your investments, okay? Some of you are reflecting on these commitments and you're considering a new path. You're considering maybe a new educational path, right? You could be learning about health, wellness, nutrition. You could be choosing healthier family dynamics, healthier relationships, because not all relationships have to be set in dysfunction. That's important. And I see dysfunction whenever I get the detox. It means that there's something toxic that was present. And sometimes that can be based on the childhood wounds of dysfunction, but you don't have to repeat that story. Final outcome is the Ace of Swords. Some sort of miscommunication is coming to a head, right? This is about cutting through the barriers. This is about honesty, authenticity. It's about logic and coming up again with an action plan, coming up with a solution and a new sense of understanding about a situation. So aces are gifts, right? Aces are gifts, and this is the gift of the mind, the power of the mind here to really transform our lives. And we know how powerful the mind is. You've heard of placebos, right? Placebos, the power of belief, but you also know that the mind can be used to build, the mind can be used to destroy. And you want to use the resource that you have, the brains, right, that you have had all along, but it feels like you've gone through something that really reminds you that you have what it takes. Yes, you do. The Ace of Truth, getting honest with oneself. Someone could be getting honest with you, or there is some sort of unveiling of the mask for you in the month of December. All right, Scorpio, let's look at career, money, abundance, and wealth. We have the Past card. Surprise, surprise. I mean, not really. You're really getting to the nitty gritty and reevaluating things. And it says something from the past is coming back. Okay, there's the second chance. This could be an old job. It could be an unfinished project. It could even be a childhood dream, Scorpio. Look at the past to understand the future, a lesson, an experience, or an old skill. So there is something bubbling up and resurfacing for you to take a look at and say, is my heart in it? You know, is this still something that brings me happiness? Maybe it's worth exploring. Or perhaps I can do things in a different way. Maybe I can reignite that fire. And maybe the dream I thought was going to move in that direction, it didn't turn out that way, but I have the ability to start right here, right now, and have a new ending. So you're learning some valuable lessons around the past. You could be earning or receiving money from something you did in the past. And if you've applied for something, Scorpio, if you've applied for a job, or perhaps you are undergoing a course of study that you've already started, like I don't feel like this is initiated during Mercury retrograde. I feel like this is prior. It's coming back around for you to re-examine. And I feel like it could be quite profitable because you're gaining a new perspective. And that's why sometimes I can be a fan of retrogrades, even though it's really annoying. Don't get me wrong. Electronics go haywire and people can be more impatient. But it's also a really good time to go deep within and do that introspective work. And so I feel like that's what's coming in here because you also have Gaia. Trust that the universe has a better plan than you do. Yeah. And this is about opening ourselves up, stepping through the ego, stepping past it and saying, okay, I surrender. Things don't have to be my way, but how about our way? Me and spirit, me and the universe, me and God, right? Because there is no I in team, and you and spirit, right, are a team. Protecting the planet, herbal, or working with nature in some way. Some of you are being called to maybe recycle or to help the planet in some way. Maybe you're creating goods or services that are very helpful, that help heal, that help the planet in some way. Spend time with nature to be healed, soothe, and regroup. Now, things may have felt a little bit slow for you, Scorpio, in the money department, but it does say making slow progress, but you're getting there, right? Remember, slow and steady work leads to success that is sustainable. Meaning, anything worth doing, it's going to be worth doing good, worth doing right, and it's going to take a little bit of time. So there's not a get rich quick. This isn't going to be something that happens overnight for you, but trust that through your dedication, through your consistency here, it will pay off for you. And I see that with the 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups are, it's that fulfillment, that emotional fulfillment. So keep going. And the key is stay consistent. Stay consistent, because that can be our biggest pitfall, right? We get excited about a new idea. We get excited about writing a book, or, enjoying the beginnings of a new creative endeavor. And then we fall off the bandwagon, right? It happens to each and every one of us. But I feel like there's something this time around that you're really going to stay consistent with, and it will pay off for you long term, because we have the Coins card. This is money coming in. This is wealth, good investments. Some of you are in sales, you're in finance. You could be looking at your finances, looking at cash flow. I'm looking at statements here. I see some sort of statements. This could be bank statements, or maybe taxes. It can be your cash flow sheet. You could be uploading or downloading a spending app where you know where your money is coming from, you know what's going out. I feel like you're getting real with your money, and you're really looking at your beliefs around the energy exchange of how you make money as well. You could be getting a raise. You could be, hitting that lucky break. I believe we create our luck. Of course, sometimes things do come up out of the blue, but because we have the turtle, I feel like this is you not giving up on yourself, not giving up on your dreams and your goals. And before you know it, you're going to see the money coming in. And I feel like you're going to have enough to retire, have enough to buy your dream home, or to, pay for your marriage, or whatever it may be. It's going to be different for each and every one of you. But I feel like there is money coming in, or there's more where that came from. There's more where that came from. Something that may have felt slow, you could see a big influx in it. Like right now, there's a huge increase in cryptocurrency, right? And of course, I'm not a financial advisor. Please seek a professional, but there could be something that you've invested in or committed to that's been slow, but then you see a big rise. Maybe this is real estate. This could be, your stock exchange, whatever it may be financially for you. I do feel like you're going to see a big increase. All right, let's take a look at love. Relationships. Something here is or has ended. For some of you, you've dealt with grief, because the coffin can be the death of a loved one. And I just heard feminine, divine feminine. Is this a sister? This could be a sister or a mother, or it feels like you've been ostracized from a family dynamic. Even if this person is still alive, it feels like there's been an ending, and it feels tragic. It feels like it's something that really stomped on your heart chakra here. But you're being reborn. You're being reborn here. And I feel like you've been practicing forgiveness, or you've been practicing self-love through some sort of an ending that has occurred. I also see here that some of you, 2022, there could have been a massive loss. Okay, 2022 could have been a big loss, but you have ascended. Scorpio, you've come so far on your journey, and I'm so proud of you. And for those of you that have a loved one in spirit, I feel like they're very proud of you as well, because it almost feels like you've surpassed them in some way. It's like you've surpassed them. And again, it's not about a competition, but I feel like what they're saying is you have what it takes. You made it further than I did. So I'm not quite sure what that means. But again, it doesn't feel like a competitive energy. It just feels like you were able to spread your wings and fly a bit higher. And maybe someone is surpassing an age. Perhaps someone crossed over at like 56, right? And then you hit that number as well. Or maybe you're 57 and maybe you've surpassed them in age. So again, please take that as it resonates. Now, the hot air balloon reminds us that you could be preparing for union. If you've been single, but your childhood dream, or maybe your dream as an adult, is to find your tribe and to have someone here that completes you in a way, right, that fulfills that piece that's been missing. You have the 10 of Cups showing up, so you could be entering into a new phase with someone soon that comes in, and maybe that's that judgment day that I see here in January possibly, or end of December, where you could meet the love of your life. You could really meet someone that you get married to, that you settle down with, that you can trust, that you're able to communicate with, that's healthy. Okay, I definitely see you rising above the fray here and being able to, enter into that 10 of Cups era. Now, for those of you who are married, for those of you who are in a committed relationship, there could be some revelations needing to come out, some sort of clarity, some sort of truth. This is about honoring and protecting the sacred union of marriage, right? And for those of you who are either happily married, or perhaps there's been external things that have pushed up against your relationship, this could be a month where you reignite and remember why you fell in love in the first place. Remembering that this is your best friend, right? That the two of you can honor and protect without disrespecting each other, without crossing over boundaries. There's a sense of determination that I see here, but it is going to take communication to come together in some way. And for those of you that have struggled with someone, if you've been dealing with that 5 of 7 of Swords, and this is someone that no matter what, it's an argument, no matter what, it feels like a competition. Maybe that's why mother or sister or someone on the spirit world is talking about, surpassing, like not repeating a cycle. I feel like you're going to cut that energy out. You're going to say, not my monkeys, not my circus. I'm not going to go round and round here. I need to choose what is best for me. Excuse me. I need to choose healthier choices, healthier options. And right now I need to give myself a little extra self-love and self-care, because look at what you have here. Being happier, love and life. And I'm getting that phrase, live, laugh, love. So for some of you, I feel like you are living, right? You're living here, but you want to be able to laugh, and you also want to be able to love, because you don't want to put up a wall, because when you put up a wall, you keep people out and you yourself stay locked in. I feel like you are wanting to choose healthier options so you can build a longer table instead of building a wall. That's what I see coming in for love. All right, let's get a few messages from your soul's truth. We talk about the head and the heart, so no surprise that it's showing up here for you. Are you in your head, Scorpio, or are you in your heart? What is the quality of your self-talk? Look at on the belief system card. We actually have the word self-talk coming in. Our brain is like a muscle. If we condition it daily, the fears and limitations will take over. Mastering our thoughts is about being the creator of our own life. Where your head meets your heart is where miracles happen. Right? We talk about the brain, we talk about the heart, we talk about the courage. It takes courage to have those two meet in the middle, because that's when we can really let our intuition shine as well, because we can utilize those tools. But you're stepping into this empowering era. I feel like this is an era for you. So this is great. It means that this isn't just a quick fling. This isn't something that's just going to last for a month. This is consistency. That's what I see here for you, Scorpio. This is consistent. This is something that you may start to incorporate into your life, and it could be your new path for the rest of your days here on Earth. Today, master your mind. Watch an inspiring video. Do some tapping. Read an empowering book, or write out all the reasons why you believe in yourself and in your dreams. I love that. Next we have, am I on the right path? Yes, you are. Sometimes we second guess what we are doing. We lose trust in the process and question if we're even on the right path at all. Know this, Scorpio, you are on the right path. Keep going, keep believing, keep remembering. that you made a soul contract that you are currently fulfilling in every area of your life. Even if you can't see it, that doesn't mean that it's not real. Today, search for all the ways you are aligned with your soul's purpose. The signs will appear. Let this newfound trust fuel your next steps. All right. So that is a beautiful confirmation that your internal navigational system, right? We all have one. Our internal navigational system is guiding you forward. And I feel at times, even though you have the orphan card, which I'm just finding it here in the guidebook, I feel like you're coming back to that centered energy of feeling at one, right? It's when Dorothy is tapping those ruby red slippers and she's saying, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's some part of yourself that is being reawakened and you're remembering who you are. Now, this is about the wounded child. It's about the abandoned, the beggar. To study the orphan is to study the deep and challenging energy of our time. We are ever more connected, yet face collective isolation. The refugee crisis haunts our planet. Children are separated from parents, and the earth begs for our attention. We are in a time of universal orphanage, of nature, of each other, of our own hearts. Take refuge in the fact that we all share this core wound and dilemma. It is normal to fear this card as it haunts the caverns of the soul. When it appears, take time, real time, to be in the presence of the feelings this card stirs in you. Let it humble you. What are you starving for? What is the deepest gift you can imagine giving to others? What has been rejected is quite possibly what is most needed, dear one. Access this archetype through creative acts like drawing, painting, or writing. Keep it simple. Ask the orphan what it wants to draw. Ask the orphan, what does it want to make? What does it want to say? That's powerful. And you've all heard of those adult coloring books. Maybe it's time for you to explore some of that creativity within. It could strike up something deep within you. Tenderness, beyond tenderness, is required. Imagine holding yourself in your hands to recognize that each one of us fears rejection and isolation is to take one step towards the orphan. More kindness always. When this is showing up as the light aspect, it can be deep solace, it can be deep acceptance and deep love. And how interesting that before this card was even drawn, the messages of going deep were coming up for you. So you're hitting something. It's like when you're digging and digging and digging and you want to hit that well, or you want to hit whatever it is that you're looking for. I feel like you're finally coming into contact. You're finally hitting that piece of what you've been digging for. When this is showing up as the dark, this can be hate. It can be distance. It can be controlling. It can be avoiding, and it can be limiting. If you want to dive deeper, Mary Oliver's The Kitten. The Kitten. Yeah. I don't know if that's a poem or if that's a book. Mary Oliver's The Kitten. But access this archetype through creative acts like drawing, painting, or writing. For those of you Scorpios that want to be entered into the free reading giveaway, I want you to drop in the comment box below. Drop something from the inner child that really is activated within you. So what does that mean? I want you to look at this card here that's held up on the screen, the inner child. And I want you to really sink into the words, the child within, laughter, enthusiasm, innocence, happiness. And I want you to drop in the comment section below what feelings emerge within you, right? Even thinking about the orphan here, what feelings emerge within you? Who is that child within? What does that child within need? That's the question. I want you to ask yourself, what does that inner child within you need? Drop that in the comment section below. I'll enter you into that free reading giveaway, Scorpio. And don't be afraid to be vulnerable, because remember what this orphan says. We all fear that sense of abandonment, right? We're all feeling it. It is a universal thing. So it's not just you. It's not just you. It's a collective energy. So open up and be vulnerable and drop in the comments box, what does your inner child need? And don't be afraid to read other people's responses as well. Comment on them. That is what I have for you. If this resonates, Scorpio, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you haven't already. And thank you so very much for tuning in. Lots of love.